Jai Shri Krishna. Today, I am going to present about Ramayanam. Why Ramayanam? To answer this question, I would say that recently I had been into Ramayanam Parayanam. So my Guruji taught me about the spiritual significance of Ramayanam. So he not only taught me the story, but also about Ramayanam. So the spiritual significance. So that is why I thought it will be apt for everyone to take up this, for me to take up this and for present it to everybody, so that they will also get to know the spiritual significance of it. So moving on, let me start it. So first, my prostrations to Maharishi Valmiki and Lord Rama. Kujantam Rama Rameti Maduram Maduraksharam Aruhya Kavita Shakham Vande Valmiki Kokilam Apadam Apahartaram Dataram Sarva Sampadam Lokabhiramam Shri Ramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham. So getting into the subject, first we should understand one thing. Many think that Ramayana, Mahabharata, all these are mythology, but actually it is history. Why? So history means itihasa. That is iti plus ha plus asa is itihasa. What does that mean? It means so it was. So itihasa means as it happened, so it is presented now. Just like how Akbar lived or any other historian lived, similarly Rama lived, Krishna lived. So anybody whom we meet, we need to make them understand that Ramayanam and Mahabharatam are history. Rama lived, and it is not a mythology, because mythology is the one where the story is told. And it may be true, it may not be true. But here Rama lived, and whatever is told by Valmiki in Ramayanam is true. Going ahead, let's see that what actually, how actually Rama was born. So there was a sister for Lord Rama. So many think that Rama was the first child, but Rama had a sister and her name was Shanta. So she was married to Rishyashringa. Why about Rishyashringa is mentioned by me now? Because we know that King Dasharatha wanted a boy, a male heir, because only a male heir can go ahead and take up the kingdom further. So he performed a Putra Kameshti Yajna as suggested by Vasishta. So sage Vasishta advised him, and so Rishyashringa is the Muni who was a Brahmin, and he was married to Dasharatha's daughter Shanta, and he performed the Putra Kameshti Yajna for Dasharatha, and thus they got the beautiful Lord Rama. So now, do you know the name meaning of Dasharatha? Yes. So let me explain. So one who can drive or control his chariot in 10 directions during war. Okay, we know 8 directions. How 10 directions? 8 directions are north, northeast, south, southeast, like so on. So how 2 more direction, which is Urdhva and Adho. What is Urdhva, which is the higher loka? What is Adho, which is the lower loka? So the higher Swarga loka and the lower Pathala loka, which means that Dasharatha not only ruled the earth, he also ruled the Swarga as well as the Pathala loka. Is there any other meaning of Dasharatha? Yes. In those days, the name was actually meant to give their actual characteristic. Here, Dasharatha means the one who can control his 10 senses. How? There are 5 senses which we know, which are the organs of perceptions, but there are also organs of actions. So let me again put it forth like the sight, hearing, taste, smell, and touch are the 5 organs of perception, and the speech, hands, legs, anus, and genitals are the 5 organs of actions. Usually, if we see for a normal person, without their knowledge, they are being controlled by these senses and the mind becomes their slave. But the Dasharatha was someone who had his mind overpowered, and the mind was controlling all these 10 senses. That is why he was the great ruler of his time. And moving on further, now let us see who are his wives. That is, he had 3 wives, which we already know. That is the Kaushalya, which we already know. They are Kaushalya, Sumitra, Kaikeyi. So now, what is their name meaning? Let me tell you. Kausalya means Kushalasya Bhavaha. What it means? So one who can think for others, one who brings prosperity to the kingdom. How? Because she always looked for working for the others and also for the welfare of others. She was not selfish or self-centered. So Dasharatha liked Kaushalya a lot. Further, Sumitra. Sumitra, what is the name meaning? Su plus Mitra. Mitra means friend. Su means a very good. So, what is Sumitra means? She's a friend towards everybody. She had no crooked thoughts. She treated everyone equally, because of which the Kaushalya as well as Kaikeyi liked her. That is why she was given 2 portions of the Yajna's result. Further, the phalam. Further, moving on, Kaikeyi was compared to that of women who had compassion as well as passion. That is very difficult, because the lady who has passion might have not get compassion, or the lady who possesses compassion towards everybody may not have the passion to reach her goal. But Kaikeyi was a unique person. Many portray Kaikeyi to be a negative person, but no, because Kaikeyi gave her own gold palace, which was given by her father to Lord Rama as soon as he was married. But because of her Mantara, that is her servant maid, she got confused. So let me not get into much details, but Kaikeyi was a one who had compassion towards everybody, and she had the passion to reach a goal. That's why Dasharatha always preferred Kaikeyi during any for consulting anything or any decision to be taken. So moving ahead, so how to bring in Sri Rama in us? Okay, for that, first we need to know what the name significance of Lord Sri Rama. Lord Rama means one who revels in the self. What it means, the detailed meaning is that one who revels in his own self. He is always equipoised and never have any agitations or sorrows. So, and also the Lord Rama also means the self in everyone. So one who revels in everyone as their own nature. That is, whoever he revels in us as our true nature. So now the mind, which is Dasharatha, which we have already seen, and the intellect with the 3 qualities, which are his wives, when together bring it up Sri Rama. The detailed meaning is the mind, which has controlled its 10 senses, which is married to the intellect, which has the 3 qualities. The first quality is welfare for all, which is the Kushalata, that is Kaushalya, and the one who has the friendship for all, which is Sumitra, that means treating everybody equally, and the one who has compassionate behavior towards everyone equally, and also who has the strength to reach the goal. So to emphasize more on, which is Kaikeyi, to emphasize more on the strength to reach the goal, For example, we can take that many of us do not have, we take up any task bravely, but what happens moving on, we find it difficult to, if we find any obstacle in the middle, we stop or we put a pause. Later we cannot proceed, be it in the spiritual or be it in the materialistic. Say for example, we have taken up now Bhagavad Gita through Gita Parivar, but once, say for example, we have any obstacle in the family or in the profession, then we might not proceed here. But that should not be the case. That's why Kaikeyi was the one who had strength to reach the goal. Similarly, we also should have strength to reach our goal, whatever may be the situation prevailing. And also the friendship with all is called as a Samatva Buddhi, which Sumitra had. So to put more detail into Samatva Buddhi, the problem most of the times we have is either we like somebody or we dislike somebody. Our first main problem is the liking and disliking, because of which our mind does not take any decision and it gets confused, and we sort towards either favoring them or not favoring them. So here Sumitra is the one who liked everybody equally and treated everyone equally. That Samatva Buddhi is what we need to acquire. And finally, to have the welfare for all is the most difficult task. That is because most of the people are self-centered. So they do not think about in a wider way. So here the Kaushalya represents the person who has a heart for everybody. Our main problem is 3 C's. That is, we criticize, we condemn, and because of this, we complain. So the criticize, condemn, and complain should be replaced with accept, adjust, and accommodate, and also appreciate. So if we can appreciate people instead of complaining, then the relationship becomes even more good, and the welfare automatically comes in. And a person who has all this automatically gets Lord Rama in his heart, and he blossoms with all goodness. So, and also with peace. So friends, the mind should be the master of the senses, and the mind should always contact the intellect for taking decisions. Say here, the mind, Dasharatha, contacting his 3 wives to take decisions. And also the intellect should possess 4 qualities, which is the Karma Yoga, that is the that is what we have seen already, that is welfare for all. And the Samatva Buddhi, which is friendship with everybody. The Karunatvam, which is compassionate behavior. And Dridatvam, which is firmness towards reaching our goal. I hope it was useful. Thank you. Jai Shri Krishna.